And we're back, guys. That was another drop. Unfortunately, Jack has to run as well too. He has a 5 o'clock that he has to run to, but I really enjoyed that. I don't know about you guys. I really enjoyed kind of just watching. I love hearing people talk about what they're passionate about, the things that keep them calm and make them who they are, and things that take a lot of time to get better at. Um, and seriously, I think music is one of the more challenging things that I've had to learn or tried. Well, I attempted to learn in my life. Definitely don't read music. Um, so there have definitely been a lot of ups and downs for me with when it comes to music, but it's really awesome hearing people's stories about how they got into things and what inspires them, and um, yeah, that's incredible. So cool. Yes, we are back, Wasim. Thank you so much. You've been sticking with us all day through all this stuff. I'm so sorry that we keep dropping off like that. Um, but again, guys, we are winding down here to our last 3 hours. We're actually just under the 3 hour mark now, so it's 5:01. We've got just under 3 hours to finish our Guinness World Record attempt. So I know you guys are probably tired out there. Anybody who's been with us all day, and if you haven't yet or you haven't completed, make sure you guys go ahead and get started, finish up, whatever you need to do to get in, and make sure you guys are counted towards the record attempt. Like Jack was just mentioning to me before we got disconnected right there. But today has been amazing, you guys. Regardless of what happens tonight, thankful for all of you who are watching, who registered, who told their friends, who participated, who volunteered. Literally everything. If you wrote a comment in the chat, if you followed us on social media, or you engaged, or you helped spread the word, whatever you did to help contribute, it is 100% appreciated. This event couldn't have happened. It couldn't have been what it has been today without the support of all you guys. No matter how much work the MACS team and the organizing team put in to organize this, without participants and believers and champions and people who are passionate and excited about breaking this record, we wouldn't have an event. So seriously appreciate everybody who's just been taking the time out today to be here with us. We're down to our last demo that's coming up at about 5:30. Um, and again, so I have all the parts here to build a computer. The question is, will we build the computer on the live stream? That is the goal, but again, guys, we have a lot that we got to get wrapped up here for the event and everything. And of course, this is going to involve tools and probably, from what I hear, about an hour and a half at least of our time. So hopefully, we'll have enough people who can commit here to kind of helping get everything squared away. Whether we build the computer or we just show you guys the parts in the box, I think either way, it'll be really informative. It'll be really good. We have so like right here where I'm looking, we have a custom built PC, and that one in the back that you guys probably see right there is also a custom built PC. So we can show you guys, even if we don't actually put it all together, we can show you guys an actual computer that was built, and then we can kind of point to each part and kind of talk about what it is, what it does, and then show you how a finished one looks versus all the pieces individually in the boxes, which I have. So either way, guys, I'm still excited about our last demo. I think it'll be very informational, very educational. So feel free to stick around, guys. I think that'll be really exciting. It's coming up here in about 25-ish minutes. So again, I'm going to put some music on. I'm going to let you guys listen to some lo-fi and kind of just relax and chill for a second, or go ahead and finish up your task or whatever it is before we get into our final demo. And yeah, I'll be back in a few, guys, to move on to our last presentation. Okay, see you guys soon. All right, guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are in the home stretch now of our Guinness World Record attempt. We're coming up on, I think we're at a little, just under 2.5 hours left remaining to go. So, yeah, guys, I know it's been a long day. I know we've been here since 8 a.m. and everybody's been working hard, learning new stuff, going through their lesson, tuning in here. We've thrown interviews at you guys. We've had some musical performances. We had some demos. So pretty much the last formal thing that we had on the agenda for today, guys. I'm really excited to go over it because I think hopefully it'll be one of the most valuable and also just informative like demo pieces that we have going on today. And essentially what I told you guys we were going to do was that we were going to actually build a computer. So of course we had to pivot with some things because we have a lot going on here, making sure that everyone has been able to log in, that everyone's getting assisted, that everyone's able to go through the lesson and actually finish it and complete it. So again, we definitely have had a lot going on, a lot of different tasks to complete. So we probably, well, I'll tell you now, we aren't going to build the computer, but I'm super excited to show you guys all the necessary parts to build a computer, and then also show you guys like some finished products of how I guess homemade PC looks and how it gets built. So okay, guys, I will be the first to tell you that I am not necessarily a hardware master, and I kind of told you guys this before. I'm gonna use this chair right here as my table. So I kind of told you guys before, I'm not a super hardware person, but anybody in tech will eventually at some point have different needs and different things. And it varies based on our jobs, what we want to do. If we have different hobbies that we're into, we might need different types of computers, processors, memory, all different types of things to basically suit our needs specifically. And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about with this is these parts are for my first PC build that I'm going to be doing. And I guess I'll show you guys each one by one. So these are going to be my parts for my PC build. So I haven't actually built a PC yet, funny enough, but like I said, I never really had a real use case or a real reason to build my own PC until recently. So if you guys have been on the stream for a while, you heard me maybe like an hour and some change ago talking to Micah about videos and video editing. And so again, that's one of my hobbies, one of my passions, something I love doing. And so you heard Micah earlier talking about how he uses a program to edit his videos called Final Cut. And I use a program to edit my videos called Premiere Pro. And so they're both kind of like similar to each other. They both are very powerful video editing softwares. I also use some additional things to just Premiere Pro. So I'm not sure if Final Cut has the equivalent, but I use things like After Effects for animations. And I also want to get into something called Cinema 4D, which is for like 3D modeling and 3D rendering things for video, obviously. And so these things are very memory and CPU intensive on your computer. So if you have like a laptop like I do, you're either not going to be able to run these programs or you're going to have a really terrible experience when you use these programs. So for that reason, I decided to build my own video editing PC this time because for what I'm going to pay when I go into a store and try to buy a really beefed up computer that comes with a really powerful processor, lots of memory and storage, and powerful graphics card, all these things, I'm still going to end up paying way more money for that PC than I am for what you guys are about to see right here, right now, which is arguably going to be a lot more powerful than the PC that we buy when we go to the store. Even if we actually specifically try to buy a gaming computer or a video editing computer, you know, you can choose optimized brands for the software that you are actually trying to use. So in my case, you guys will hear that my processor, which is AMD, and I'll show you in just a second. But there's a reason why I chose that processor. There's different ones I could have gotten, but specifically for my purposes and what I want to do with video editing, that processor made the most sense for me. So before we dive in, guys, one of the cool things I found out from actually going through this process of getting ready to build my own computer is that it literally is only 7 parts. I know that sounds probably wild because when we think about a computer, it seems like there's so much going on. There's so many things happening. There's so many cables and different things going on. But essentially, you only need 7 pieces of equipment, guys, to actually build a PC, to build your computer. All right, so now we can go back and kind of get a little bit more nitty gritty. So I'll bring this up here now. So this is my CPU. This is an AMD. Let me see. Yep, an AMD Ryzen 3700X. So I know you guys are probably like, okay, I don't know what that means. It means nothing to me. Trust me, it didn't mean a ton to me until I bought it. So again, why might I buy this AMD 3700X? So reason number one is that this processor works really well with Premiere Pro. The reason is because this, I want to say that, and again, I'm kind of just going based off my research recently. The 2 processors you guys are going to likely see when you go to a store are going to be this Ryzen AMD or Intel. Intel, from what I hear, is obviously the bigger brand. They have been doing processors for a very long time. They're very good at what they do. They're almost arguably the industry standard when it comes to processors. And they also have more cores than the AMD Ryzen processors. The problem with that, though, is that not every program is built to take advantage of your processor having more cores. So meaning that if you buy a Intel or a processor with more cores specifically because you think it's going to help you out, depending on what you're trying to do with it, it may or may not help you out. So specifically for video editing with Premiere Pro, the software is programmed to take advantage of processors that like the AMD Ryzen. So essentially, just doing research online about the software that I'm trying to use, Cinema 4D, Premiere Pro, After Effects. That is how I pretty much arrived at the solution that I wanted to get, the 3700X processor. So cool. I was going to see if I had the price on here. I do have my price list, but yeah. Sure, you guys know that computers are not very inexpensive. So yes, these things are very expensive. Altogether, I want to say it's about a $1,400 bill. But I guess we won't go too much into like individual prices unless I, maybe have a label on here exactly. Okay, cool. So let's start with some of the other stuff, and then we'll come back to our memory sticks. So, of course, you need a power supply, right? So you cannot have a computer unless it turns on, and it can only turn on if it has power. So I got this G-Skill 750 watt power supply. So the thing about the power supplies is that these are they vary a lot. So this is a fully modularized power supply. So what that means is that I can completely disconnect all of my cables. Sorry guys, got a text real quick. So we are going to be able to take this completely apart in terms of like where the cables are, and we can always reorganize or restructure our cables on the power supply. So that is important when it comes to putting your computer in the case. So when you actually, once you get all this stuff put together, you need to actually take the computer and sit it inside the case, right? The thing that sits on the floor. And so you want to be able to do that, and you want to be able to manage your wires as cleanly as possible. Otherwise, you're gonna have like cords just running everywhere. And so a fully modularized power supply allows you to do that. So I guess no real difference in terms of what it does as opposed to how convenient it is to build your PC with. Because if you don't get a fully modularized power supply, you're gonna have to work around where the cords are built onto the power supply basically, and you won't be able to just change things and move it around inside your case, which may or may not be a problem depending on your build and what you want to do. And it could also come down to a cost thing. So maybe you don't want to pay for the fully modularized power supply. Maybe you want to save a little bit of money and just get a regular standard non-modularized power supply. Either way, guys, they're gonna pretty much do the same thing. This was about 120 bucks. So again, you could get fully modularized, or you could spend a little bit less and get a non-modularized one. Why did I get 750 watts? There's websites online where you can take all your PC build parts and you can put them into the website, and then it will actually tell you how much power your computer is going to take, or how much power you should buy, how much is recommended for your computer to run smoothly. So for everything that I have here, I think it was recommended to get 650, so I went ahead and just got 750 just to give myself a little extra leeway. Can't hurt anything to have extra power, so boom, power supply. All right, so we are 2 parts down. Let's get into some real magic here. All right, so next up we have the graphics card, guys. And I know that all my techie people out there, all my gamers out there, all my streamers, and everybody has probably at least heard or been familiar with the idea of a graphics card, video card, whatever you guys want to call it. So yeah, essentially I have a GeForce RTX 3060 Ti. I'm not gonna lie, I am not super familiar on the ins and outs of graphics cards, so I will give you guys like my understanding, my abridged understanding of graphics cards. So essentially, right, the software that we're going to be using on our computer is going to need access to different things. It's going to need access to memory, processing power, and all that. Now, a graphics card can help relieve some of our stress on our processing power and our memory by running really like labor intensive things for our computer with the graphics card. So this will allow us to have like better, if you're a gamer, you could have better graphics because of your graphics card, obviously. Just an overall better gaming experience, better quality. And then also for me, again, going back to me building a video editing PC, I want to do 3D rendering in 4K and possibly higher editing. And so if I want to be able to edit 4K, 6K, 8K, 10K video, I need a very powerful graphics card. So guys, for example, this is my current laptop that I pretty much do everything on when it comes to my videos, my editing, my coding. All right, and this is literally like a 2000, I want to say like either 13 or 14 MacBook Pro. All right. I don't know the specs completely of this computer, but what I can say is that when I try to edit 4K footage on this computer, it is a nightmare. When I say a nightmare, I mean it is not possible to edit 4K footage on this computer, at least not in an enjoyable way where I can actually be confident in my edit, okay? It will get the job done, but you can clearly tell that when you are trying to edit 4K video on this computer, you are asking a lot of it and you're putting it through a lot, meaning the hardware that's inside of it. So we want to make sure, well, I wanted to make sure now that I won't have that problem. I want to be able to upload whatever type of footage I want and see no difference in how slow the playback time is when I'm actually editing the video. The video runs on a timeline, and obviously you can play it back and you can splice things and cut it up. So when we're working with a 4K video on my laptop right now, that playback isn't going to be very smooth. It's going to be very choppy. You won't be able to just press play and watch a 4K video play. Why is that? Because of all the stress. It's so much stress on the computer to render those high quality images that it slows your computer down, and you're not able to really do many things, especially multitask. And so a very powerful graphics card is the sheer way around that. So again, like I said, I want to use Cinema 4D. I haven't used it before, but like I said, if I want to create 3D environments where I'm going to be like making just very complex animations and just doing all types of, cool, again, like I said, just very graphic intensive visuals and things like that. I like to shoot music videos. Sometimes if I shoot like a short film or something, you want to have special effects in there, then you're going to need to use like something like After Effects, or again, some sort of like, animation engines that are going to be very heavy on your graphics card. So you make sure if you're doing anything like gaming, or in my case, video editing, even streaming, a good graphics card is definitely very good to have. So this is going to be one of the most important but also expensive parts of your build. Um, so when you were doing a video while you're showing us how to code on the website, were you using that camera of computer? Yes, Wasim, I was. It wasn't this actual laptop that I was using. It was the one that I was just showing you. But essentially the same type of webcam, yeah. So yeah, guys, kind of lost my train of thought right there. But yeah, this is going to be one of the most expensive parts of your build because of how powerful it is, what it allows you to do, and how much it improves your usability of your computer depending on what you need to do. So, again, totally do not have to get this graphics card. This is this is actually a brand new graphics card that just came out from GeForce. So this is $449.99, so $450 bucks. So again, might seem expensive and everything like that, but the improved performance you're gonna get by having a really, quality graphics card, I think makes up for that cost. So part number 3 is the graphics card. So we've got the processor, we've got the power supply, we've got the graphics card. So that's 3 out of the 7 parts that I'll talk to you guys about. So let's just go ahead and jump into the next big thing, which is the motherboard. Ding, 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 ding. All right, so our motherboard is pretty much where everything starts. So CPU is gonna go on here, the RAM is gonna go on here, everything is gonna get plugged basically into or onto the motherboard. It's all gonna get put onto this thing, and then this is gonna get put inside the case. All right, so this is probably the most important piece, one of the most important pieces, because without this, you don't have a computer. I mean, without some of the other things, you don't have a computer either, but it all starts with a motherboard, essentially. So this I can actually kind of open and give you guys like inside look there. I don't know how much you can actually see. Just try to move some stuff out of there. See, we can get. So as you guys can probably see, all right, guys. Trying to figure out the best way to show you this without taking it out of the plastic, or if you can see this at all. I feel like it's probably not showing up very well. Let's just go ahead and box it back up. So yeah, guys, we falling over stuff. But yeah, so essentially, the motherboard is just going to be where everything goes. We definitely need it. We don't have a computer without it. So the important things about this is that you definitely want to make sure it has Wi-Fi. For the most part, if you don't, you're gonna have to buy extra pieces to be able to, actually get Wi-Fi enabled onto your motherboard. You also want to make sure you have the right amount of ports. You want to make sure you have the right amount of ports on the motherboard, whether it's USB-C, USB-C 2.0, or pretty much whatever else you guys need. Make sure that your motherboard actually has it, and I mean down to the very last thing. So you're definitely gonna, check out the features of the motherboard. Does it have Bluetooth? Is it internal Wi-Fi? Do you need a Wi-Fi adapter? Do you have USB-C ports? Do you have USB-C 2 ports? Do you have the Thunderbolt connector cables? So so guys, this is pretty much your motherboard, and like I said, it's going to be a very, very key part of your computer. It's the thing that everything is going to go into. So all those parts that I just showed you guys, minus the power supply, but the graphics card and the processor, everything is going to go onto the motherboard. So I think I'm going to stop there with the motherboard without giving you guys too much that I don't know. I'm not sure 100% of. Like I said, I haven't built the PC myself yet, but yeah. So this is about $189. So yeah, like I said, you don't have to get this particular motherboard at all. There's a lot, and you definitely want to do your research about your processor, your graphics cards, your memory sticks, like everything. You want to make sure it is all compatible, that the brands actually work with each other, and that you're not gonna have any basically like undesirable interactions between your hardware. Otherwise, you'll have to like do a bunch of weird, finicky upgrades or doing different things, installing stuff, or you'll have to, in the worst case, take it back to the store, get your money refund, and get all new parts. So don't want that. Make sure you do your research, get the right motherboard to go with your processor, to go with your graphics card, and your power supply. Just make sure you have enough power to power the parts that you guys have. So that is part number 4 down with the motherboard. So moving on is my 1 terabyte SSD, all right, which stands for solid state drive. So this is a memory stick, and essentially it's gonna be my hard drive on like actually inside the computer. The reason why I got 1 terabyte again goes back to me being a video editor, things like that. So when you use video editing programs, a lot of your video files are cached so that you don't have to continue like wasting memory to watch them play back and everything. So, but the problem with that is that it drains a lot of resources on your computer. So again, hence like Premiere Pro, After Effects, all these programs are, if they don't crash your computer, they will highly negatively impact your experience on your computer, let's say. So with that being said, very important to make sure you have enough memory, and also make sure that you have the right types of memory. So even though I have this 1 terabyte SSD drive, I still have what we're going to show you next. And this is $180, all right? So a 1 terabyte hard drive, about $180. You can go smaller than that. You don't have to get a terabyte, but so the next type of memory that we have is our RAM. All right, so my random access memory is going to be the RGB Corsair, and I think I have 32 gigabits here. I think I have two 16 gig drives. I have two 16 gig drives. You guys can see it right here. So I have 32 gigs of RAM space. So again, these two are going to work together. These two are going to work together to basically serve as the memory of my computer. So whatever's not on my solid state drive will be on the RAM. And then I also highly encourage, I think most people highly encourage to still get an external hard drive with maybe up to a terabyte. I think is really good. That you guys can actually connect with that. So even if you have a terabyte of RAM a terabyte of SSD and 32 gigs of RAM, which is a lot, and like I said, I'm getting that much RAM and that much SSD space because of the video editing. If you guys are just looking for a regular work PC, or you're not planning to do anything super intensive on it or anything like special related to like software and programs and anything like that, then maybe you don't have to go that expensive or get that much storage. You might not need it. So again, those things are all specific to what I want to do, but it just goes to show you how important it is to know what you want to accomplish with your PC so that you don't overpay or buy the wrong parts or extra accessories or things you don't need. That is number 6. And to be honest, guys, we're done. The only thing that's left is the last part of the PC build, which is the case. And I know this is on the box, so it's not a whole lot to look at here. But essentially, I will show you guys. That is how the case looks. You can see on the side it is open where it'll be glass. And so those Corsair RAM sticks that I have are RGB, and so what they do is they will actually turn colors and things like that. Kind of like this example right here behind us. And I'm not gonna move the stream to show you guys, but maybe by the end of the night I can show you guys this one right here. which essentially is very similar to what you guys just saw. It's an AMD processor. It has the Corsair RGB RAM in it. So yeah, again, guys, there's like 7 parts that go into building your computer. So your CPU, your graphics card, your power supply, your SSD, your RAM, your case, and what am I missing? Number 7, processor. One of the most important parts, and your processor. And once you have those 7 parts, guys, you literally have your own PC. You just need to decide what operating system you want to use and put it together and install it, and then you guys are pretty much good to go. So I thought that we were gonna build the computer on the live stream, but at the end of the day, guys, we had a lot going on today. So I'm glad that I can still just get a chance to share a bit with you guys about just in general, like having the parts all there. And let's see. This would be an example of a completely built computer. So you guys can see that this is the case that I was showing you guys. It might not be exactly the same as the one that I have, but you guys can clearly see that this is the glass on the side. And through here, inside, we can see our motherboard. We can see, I know you guys probably can't see it from the stream, but inside of here, though, are all of those 7 parts that we just talked about. Well, 6 parts because the case is obviously 7, but everything inside are those other 6 parts, guys, that we were talking about, and they're all gonna fit inside of here. And that obviously becomes your computer. Nothing to really see there other than just knowing the parts specifically. So I really hope that that little segment or demo was somewhat informative. I hope you guys are able to like take something away from it or learn something. I was just informed that we have one more interview. I thought we were wrapped up for the night, but we have one more interview coming up at 7:30. I know a lot of you guys have been here for a while, so if you can't stay or you're getting tired, you're getting drained, feel free. I totally understand if you want to take off. I totally get it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is if you guys have any questions or anything, leave them in the chat. I will be sure to get back to them as soon as I get back. But we're going to jump to another intermission right now. Let's go check on some of the numbers, see where we are with the event, how we're coming along. And I will be back to wrap up the last few hours with you guys, okay? So I appreciate you guys for staying here, being around, participating. Like I said, leave the questions in the chat. I'll be sure to get back to you guys, all right? See you soon.
It's okay. Andrew, hopefully be our final.
Yeah, 7, like
7:30.
7, so like probably not even 8, probably, right? Probably only like a few minutes for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Does he have like questions?
No, I just said it to him. I would do the interview.
Oh, you're doing? Oh, perfect. Okay. Yeah.
The only thing is that I mean, we wouldn't have the same issue as we've been having all day then. Okay.
Yeah, this hasn't been too bad, but yeah, since when I was on with Jack.
YouTube channel, it's just that yes, the audio is definitely going in now.
Yeah.
Not on our end, but
Right.
yes.
Right. Yeah, that happened with me and Jack. But yeah, that's fine. 7:30 is cool. Didn't forget about you guys. Turning on some music as we speak.
We all have plans for 2020. Many have changed.
That's still the main people. We only had like I think 7 dummy accounts get used. So this isn't counting the dummies, but I don't know how much they'll add. But we only 20 was our goal, but like 19 could theoretically, 19.3. I mean, theoretically, it's still. It just depends on when they. Like if they did everything and if they took 30 minutes.
But you're not even at 19, like I think you just said 15.
Yeah, well I'm checking the dummies. That doesn't include the dummies. But I mean I don't know how many they used. I was just saying that because like I mean we've 136 dummies. Yeah. I was just saying that because we still got like 1,000. I mean, we had like 14.2, maybe at like 5:45 going on to 6. So, but we got a lot of good feedback in the chat. I mean, I think people really enjoyed it. Just let him in.
How we just go get started.